Hey, I kind of like doing these kind of videos where I'm just randomly going through news articles, see what's going on in the world, and giving my 2 cents about what's going on this godforsaken planet. This crazy world that we live in. So I'm just gonna see what's going on in the world. So even it doesn't matter if it's like liberal or conservative. If it's news, it's news. So it doesn't matter to me like the source of the news or whatever. But like I said, I'm just like clicking on random links to see what's going on. And let me see, I got like a slow internet, so forgive me. So I don't know what's up with this. Alrighty. Trump asked Supreme Court to intervene in Mar-a-Lago case. Of course, you know that FBI raided Trump's crib. When was that? Last month that happened? Month before last, when they raided Trump's house, his mansion, whatever. And from my understanding, I haven't really like dug deep into the whole Mar-a-Lago raid or whatever and everything. But one thing I've observed is like for like the long time the FBI have always been the bad guys, right? Before Trump, right? All the shady stuff they do, right? But it's funny how like when they raided Trump's actually you can go back before that. You can go back when Trump was president. What I'm saying, and all of a sudden the liberals were like on Trump's side. I mean, or on the FBI side, excuse me. The liberals were on the FBI side because they didn't like Trump. You know what I'm saying? And who was the FBI director back in the day? Comey, whatever the guy he fired Comey, whatever. And but now since the FBI, they're on Trump's case, what I'm saying? Now they're like, hey, the FBI did a good guys. We on the FBI side because we don't like Trump and all this kind of stuff. But people don't really put two and two together. If Trump is this evil dictator, why is the government and media against him? You would think people don't really think that it's like, okay, if the system's corrupt, all these liberals and the people on the left say like the government's corrupt, it's white supremacists, the government's corrupt, so that means the media's corrupt, right? If that's the case, if Trump is the dictator, why is the system attacking Trump? They don't really put two and two together, you know what I'm saying? So but I'm not gonna read the article, but but um but I just get, and also I think like what I know about it, I think Myron Gaines explained it pretty well. He was saying that even though he's a Trump supporter, he's like an ex Homeland Security. He's pretty much saying that Trump, Trump had documents, even though he's not president, he still had like confidential documents in his personal possession that he shouldn't have as a private citizen. And the government were trying to like get those documents back, but Trump was like, he didn't give it back immediately. He was slow slow to give the documents back. You know what I'm saying? He took his time, whatever, and they gave him like a certain amount of time to give documents back, but Trump didn't, and that's why the FBI had to raid his house, his mansion, whatever, right? But that's what from my understanding, they said more like he might get indicted. But it's I don't really get into that. I voted for Trump, but I'm not a Trump fanatic like that. I'm not ultra MAGA, and that's the thing that really gets on my nerve with a lot of these conservatives. It's like they're stuck in 2016. Trump was a good president. He wasn't perfect, but he was a good president. And of course, I really wish that he was still president, but he just had to deal with reality. This is not 2016. And also, I'm sick and tired of like baby boomers still in charge. Trump was around since the 1980s. So Same thing with Joe Biden. Joe Biden been around forever. Joe Biden been in the government since the 1970s, early 70s actually. You know what I'm saying? And he's a president. I'm like, it's time for like somebody fresh, somebody young and fresh and new to take over leadership. And of course, I'm not really a fan of this whole what you call it, like this whole liberal what word I'm looking for, like you know how people they want like universal income and you know free checks, print out money, stuff like that. But we really need somebody like leadership that's young, somebody who's kind of like versatile, somebody who still has like the old time work ethic, but at the same time still hip with the times. You know, we need somebody who's president, who's pro crypto, you know, saying pro space exploration, pro technology, who understands the youth, who understands the times we live in. You know what I'm saying? We need that kind of balance. You know, somebody who likes hip hop, you know what I'm saying, but at the same time still has that old fashioned work ethic of, you know, we still gotta work, you know, you're not really entitled to happiness, that kind of mindset. We need like a combination of both, in my opinion, and it's that's the kind of leadership we need in the 21st century. And I think like the closest I've seen maybe somebody who's that guy Andrew Yang. Even though I didn't really agree with them on a lot of stuff, but he was still kind of like he was pro technology. You know, he understood the times we live in, stuff like that. And you know, somebody like Tulsi Gabbard. You know, somebody like people like that. And I'm using DuckDuckGo. I don't use DuckDuckGo on the regular. You know, I need to get in the habit of using it more often. And let me see what's going on. Marijuana farmers, Chicago men, kidnapping, takes one for the shot. Argentina, blah, blah, blah. What's going on with this hurricane? Of course, Florida got hit by a hurricane. They're not really talking about that. I think that's over with. Um, storm in Alaska. I know Alaska got storms. Fall storm in Alaska. Um, national politics. What? Women run over and killed by big rig while sleeping underneath cardboard. Oh God. Wait a minute. Let's see. Women run over and killed by big rig while sleeping underneath cardboard in Echo Park parking lot. LA Times. A homeless woman sleeping underneath cardboard in the parking lot of a Vaughn's grocery store in Echo Park was run over and killed by a big rig earlier Tuesday. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. You're gonna see like more and more homeless women. And one thing I've noticed, and I gotta give it up to Kevin Samuels because Kevin Samuels was a prophet. Kevin Samuels said winter is coming, and we're gonna see more homeless women in America. Now, I've seen homeless women before, and most of the time when I've seen homeless women, they're usually like old women. You know what I'm saying? Like old women who are usually like handicapped, who go around begging, panhandling, stuff like that. But recently, I've been seeing like younger homeless women. I remember one time I went inside of Kroger. I saw like this young lady. She had like a sign. You know how homeless people have these signs like begging for money, whatever. And she was she was good looking. I was like, God damn, why is this good looking? I think she was like Hispanic or whatever. I don't know her ethnicity was, but I was like, you good looking. Why you out there but the sign begging for money from Kroger's, man, you just get a man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, dude. I'm like, damn. I was like, shit. But one time I walked to a Dollar Tree, I saw this pretty good looking black woman. She was like, I would say she's probably like in the 40s. You know what I'm saying? But she looked good for her age. And she was out there like from the Dollar Tree, like begging for change and stuff like that. And everything. I was like, goodness, man, I've seen like more and more younger and younger homeless women. And it goes back to that let me try to find that article. Let me stick with the go right quick. Because it's probably like a better search engine. Let me see. Black women eviction stats. Let me see if I can find it because they're talking about like black women have the highest eviction rate in America. I wonder if they still have, I wonder if they have that article or okay, why black women are more likely to face eviction. Black women have the highest eviction rates in the USA. It was back in April of 2022. And with a lot of stuff that Kevin Samuels, peace be upon him, is coming to true. Black women have the highest eviction rates in the U.S. Black women are evicted more than any other group in the United States, and housing insecurity is becoming a growing crisis. Akira Drake Rodriguez, assistant professor of city and regional planning at the University of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, joined CBS News' Tanya Rivero to discuss the issue. Now, I think I've seen that video, the CBS News article, a CBS News clip on YouTube. You know, talking about how like out of all the groups in America, white, Hispanic, Asian, even with gender, you don't really see like single black men getting evicted. It's like the highest in America are black women, single black women in particular, who are getting evicted. And it's a simple solution. And I don't want to go on a red pill rant. The red pill makes excellent points, but it's some things, some of the problems that the world has can be solved very, very simple. Very simple. you know, People laugh at old fashioned values, say, oh, that's old fashioned, that's misogynistic, that's chauvinistic. But in reality, a lot of that stuff works. And the solution to this is the family unit. Just have the nuclear family unit. I'm not saying it's gonna be perfect all the time. Of course, there are many cases where like you have married couples who struggle, but a lot of times to make it through, and the thing about black women have all these government benefits. Get welfare, Section 8, EBT cards, programs, grants for single black women with kids, especially if they got kids, stuff like that. But they're still getting evicted. It doesn't make any sense. And added to that, with homeless black women who are more and more getting homeless, and the solution is da 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 da. Just get a man. Just get a good man who works a steady job. Plain and simple. That's all they have to do. If they get a decent, good, hardworking black man who has a steady job, you know, that will solve 98% of their problems. But they're not going to do that. Why? Because they, black women, women in particular, but especially black women in America, they're trying to uphold the social status quo. And I like how Rollo Tomasi coined it. He called it the sisterhood uberalis, the collective mindset of women. And this time is you don't need a man, be strong and independent. Even if it's detrimental to your health, detrimental to your mental health, physical health, spiritual health, that doesn't matter. What the number one priority is that men are dogs, men are trash. You can do it on your own, girl. You know what I'm saying? Even if you crash and burn. So, that's their motto. So they can keep on doing that, but they don't realizing that, the good black men who are out there, saying they're investing, getting into business, reading self help books, being entrepreneurs and stuff like that. And when it comes down to like mating and procreating, since black women don't want black men, and all these black men who are heterosexual walking around, they're gonna go to the path of least resistance, which is, you know, women of different ethnicities outside of black, white women, Asian women, Hispanic women, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? If you go to the path of least resistance, you know what I'm saying? That's it. Plus you have the urge to procreate, have sex and procreate. If black women are giving them the cold giving them the cold shoulder, but Karen and Becky, they're nice and friendly. Saying Maria's nice and friendly. Maria cooking food and stuff like that. The Asian chicks, saying they're submissive and sweet and quiet and feminine. I mean, it's just logical. Put two and two together. You know what I'm saying? But black women, what I'm saying, they don't realize that black men is all they got. And there's gotta come a time where like there's gonna be no government benefits, no pensions, no welfare, no nothing. The government's gonna run out of money. The government's gonna run out of all these like with inflation, all this kind of stuff. It's not gonna last forever. Eventually, something's gonna crash and burn. Where like it's gonna be like a totally like, hey, you gotta be on your own. No grants, no government money, no programs, no nothing. And if that happens, maybe black women will start actually finally trying to give good brothers a chance. Maybe, but we'll see about that. We'll see about that. What's going on with Russia and the Ukraine? I don't really get into this whole. I don't really have a side when it comes down to Russia and Ukraine. From my understanding, that's like an old scuffle they've been having for like decades, and I don't really understand why people in America want to take a side in that. It's kind of like, of course, like the narrative is like the Russians are the bad guys, the Ukrainians are the victims, but it's not really, from my understanding, it's not really like that. I'm not pro Russia, nothing like that. I don't really care about Russia. I don't care about Ukraine. The way I look at it, I'm just like, I mean, I'm kind of like, I don't have any skin of the game in it, so I'm just pretty much observing. Let me see. Russia, small nuclear arms, a risky option for Putin and Ukraine. I like, and I think on the news they were talking about that Russia's threatening them with nuclear weapons. Or something. Small nuclear weapons are hard. Let me see. Start beginning. For all the threats of fire, tactical nuclear arms, and Ukrainian targets, President Vladimir Putin of Russia is now discovering that the United States itself included years ago, blah blah, small nuclear weapons are hard to use, hard to control, and a far better weapon of terror and intimidation than a weapon of war. Let me see. I don't read this, but But I think it's a nothing burger. I think it's just like I said, it's just a scuffle between those. I mean, it could. It's a possibility it can get worse if something happens. Anything happen. Of course, like small scuffles like this can actually like turn into big wars. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's possible, but hopefully it doesn't. I just hope it's just hope this conflict just stays within that region and they work it out somehow. But we'll see how it turns out. But God forbid if some fluke happens where like the missile accidentally hits something and the United States got to get involved and we got to send troops over there and then blah blah. What I'm saying? It just and then Russia they got nukes and they got nukes pointed at us and something happened and North Korea want to get involved and China want to get involved and what I'm saying. I mean, it could explode, but God forbid it doesn't end up like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. Things like that happen, but God forbid, something like that happens. But I just hope it just stays within that little region of Eastern Europe and Russia. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know that Ukraine used to be part of the USSR before I think before the Berlin Wall fell. You know. Oh yeah, hold on one second. I just found out about this Andrew Tate. I gotta put my 2 cents on this. I'm a big fan of Andrew Tate, and I can say I'm a fan of Andrew Tate because I was a fan of Andrew Tate before he got popular. I started against Andrew Tate back in 2017 when he wasn't like well known back then. I mean he was known as a kickboxer and stuff like that, but he wasn't as big as he was now. And but of course now he's on Piers Morgan, which I kind of think. I mean I like Andrew Tate, but it's kind of I think a lot of times, just my personal opinion, if you're a person who has who's I don't want to use the word ideology. If you're a person who has a certain opinion that's not politically correct, that's not mainstream, if you have an opinion that's like considered old fashioned, that's what I'm saying that the general mainstream society will consider extreme, whatever. I think a lot of times people like that should not be interviewed by mainstream commentators in many cases. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I say that is because whatever you say, no matter what you say, it's they're gonna twist it and make you look bad regardless of how much sense you're making. You know what I'm saying? I love Andrew Tate, but I think him going on Piers Morgan was a mistake. Like I said, I haven't seen an interview. I've seen like a clips of it. I don't think they uploaded like the complete interview as of yet. But let me see. Piers Morgan. That is misogyny. Piers Morgan erupts at Andrew Tate in heated toxic masculinity row. So that's a misogyny. But anyway, excuse me, a burp. Excuse me, but I think a lot of times, man, just don't go on these big. And I learned that a long time ago from like a lot of people. Back when I was like deep in the conscious community. I think even back when I was I've heard people who I was following back at that time. Even they would say like even though you might have like a mass following and you're teaching something that's controversial, don't go on NBC, ABC. Don't speak to the media because whatever you say, they're gonna twist it. That's like an age-old wise um, strategy that I learned like way back. And like I said, I haven't seen the interview, but I'm sure that Piers Morgan was trying to make him look bad and stuff like that. Let me see. There's your Tate, the Sun. Controversial influencer Andrew Tate admits he'll say things differently while being grilled by Piers Morgan on Talk TV. Controversial influencer Andrew Tate admitted he would do things differently after being grilled by Piers Morgan. But Internet Star 35 refused to apologize for his views, insisted he still believes everything he says, and said teenagers misunderstand his points. It's interesting. Let me see. Piers grilled him over misogynistic comments, including claims that 18 and 19-year-old women. Okay, this part that gets me right here, right? Comment including claims that 18 and 19-year-old women are more attractive because they have been to the club and had less sex than 25-year-olds. That's just motherfucker. That's just common sense. Some things are just common sense. Younger women are more attractive than older women. That's almost, I mean, that's literally scientific. That's just like known. Of course, younger women are more attractive than older women. And let me see if I can find it. What that clip is. I saw the clip. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube. Go on the YouTube clip and find it. Shit. Let me see. Now, this is hilarious.
Do you respect women?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't I?
Do you think that 18, 19-year-old women are more attractive than 25-year-old women?
I think there's attractive people. That's a loaded question. I don't know.
Well, it's not really, is it?
I can't.
You know why I'm asking it?
Of course I do, but I can't sit here and
say. For the benefit of viewers who don't know why I'm asking, you said this. In general, this is also one of the reasons men find youth attractive.
That's just common sense. Of course men find youth attractive. Men are attracted to younger women because they're more fertile. You know what I'm saying? That's what sexual attraction is, the urge to reproduce, right? So, of course, younger women are going to be more attractive to heterosexual men. That's biological. You know what I'm saying? That's like 2 and 2 is 4, okay? That's ABC 1, 2, 3. So, and that's why I don't like Piers Morgan, man. He's just trying to like regurgitate talking points to make it seem like Andrew Tate is a bad guy.
You want to block the internet? I'll block the internet right effing now. The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less dick. People say, oh, you can't say that.
True. That's fact.
Yes, I can. A 19-year-old is more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys, been to the club more times, been effed and dumped more times, more arguments, more mess, more for me to clean up. That is misogyny.
Why?
Because you are...
Right, that's not misogyny. That's called heterosexuality. That's called being straight. It's called hormones. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dude, you literally Piers Morgan. Literally, you're a straight man, so you should know better. It's kind of like asking somebody, how come you like skinny women instead of fat women? And you say like you're a misogynist, you're vain and superficial because you like fat women over skinny women. And I'm like, dude, that's just like Um, I like skinny women better because they more sexy, and that's fact. I mean, that's nothing. That's not up to debate. You know what I'm saying?
You are encouraging a mindset about 25-year-old women that makes them sound out to be infinitely less desirable than 18, 19-year-olds, and having effectively been having too much sex to be taken in a more respectful way.
Well, firstly, even if that was the case, that wouldn't be misogyny.
Well, what did you mean by what you said?
That's not misogyny because it's not anti-women. I'm saying that an 18 or a 19-year-old woman would be more desirable.
Pretty anti-25-year-old woman.
Anti-25-year-old women we can argue, but not misogyny.
Well, that's misogyny.
No, it's not.
Well, being anti any woman at all is misogyny.
Not what I'm saying.
What? Being anti-woman at all is misogyny. I'm like, no, it's not.
That women are beautiful and attractive at a certain age, and saying the age.
You're saying 18, 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25.
Well, than ageist, perhaps, but misogynistic, absolutely.
Exactly,
not.
But you just accepted it was misogyny.
No, I didn't. You said it was misogyny. I'm telling you, no, it's not.
But if a 26-year-old.
Okay, this is like a clip of the interview. They have not, as far as I know, they have not like posted the whole interview yet. This is like a clip, like a preview of the interview that they uploaded today on YouTube on Peterson Morgan channel, and it's like, and it's a catch-22. What liberals do is a catch-22, because we all remember a couple of days ago that Jordan Peterson was on Peterson Morgan, right? And Peterson Morgan was making fun of incels, saying like, "Oh, they're weird and creepy because they can't get sex, can't get girls, right?" And of course, Jordan Peterson started crying and shit. But okay, if Piers Morgan calling them creeps, but you got Andrew Tate, who's a player who has a lot of women, talking about, you get a lot of women, so you're a misogynist. And I'm like, what is it? You put in it's a catch-22. It's like, one thing that liberals do is, and I was gonna make a Facebook post about this. One thing liberals do is like, okay, they'll say like, oh, you're incel, you're black pill, incel, whatever. You can't get women, can't get laid. Oh, you're a loser. That means you're a creep. But on the other end of the spectrum, they'll say like, oh, you're a player. You got all these women. You have sex a lot. You're rich. You got fast cars, and saying you got money. That makes you a misogynist. And I'm like, what is it? I'm like, dude, there's no win. You can't win with the left. You know what I'm saying? You're a demon no matter what side of the spectrum you are. You know what I'm saying? So what is it? Let me see if I can find that let's see. Saw him. What if I can find that very clip? If I can find like the exact clip. Let me see. This might be it. I'm trying to find like the exact clip of Jordan Peterson crying. I don't want to play like the whole entire clip. This might be it. I'm not sure. Jordan Peterson. This might be it. Let me see.
Jordan Peterson gets emotional talking about incels while being interviewed on Piers Morgan. Check it out.
Incel being these weirdo loner men who are despicable in many ways. Is that you? Are you the intellectual hero to these people?
I thought the marginalized were supposed to have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's making you emotional. Talk about that.
Well, God, it's very difficult to understand how demoralized people are constantly. How many people are dying for lack of an encouraging word. And how easy it is to provide that if you're careful. You know, give credit where credit is due. And to say, you're a net force for good if you want to be.
I really like what Jordan Peterson said, because he's pretty much sticking up for, like, from my observation, he's pretty much sticking up to the whole black pill incel community, whatever. And he got emotional, started crying, and him crying a lot. That's a whole other issue. A lot of people say that he's off his meds, and one thing I know that's factual that a lot of people agree on is that right before Jordan Peterson got sick with that, I forgot what condition he had. I think he was hooked on painkiller. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he had it was something going on with Jordan Peterson, like he had like some kind of medical emergency. He had to go to Russia for treatment or whatever, and then right after that, when he came back to America, he wasn't really like the same person as he was before then. And a lot of people agree that people like the old Jordan Peterson, like the Jordan Peterson from like 2017, 2018. He had like more energy and fire in his old videos, especially like the old videos where he's in the classroom teaching. He was, he was talking about the hero's journey and stuff like that. Slaying the dragon and stuff like that. He had like a lot more energy and more, back then. But now it's kind of like he's like, I'm not saying that he doesn't make good points here and there, but he's not the same person as it was like pre whatever condition he had treatment for. Cause he almost died. And stuff like that. He had to like go to Russia for like some kind of treatment, and it kind of like messed him up. Messed him up for like a long time and everything, and stuff like that. But one thing I don't understand. Okay, Pierce Morgan's about these incel creeps, whatever, and then when he started crying, all the liberals like making fun of Jordan Peterson, like he crying, and I'm like, don't you guys don't these liberals preach that men should be more sensitive, that men should be more in touch with the emotions, and men should be like more, stuff like that. But once a man does start crying and it is in tune with his emotions, you gotta make fun of him. It doesn't make any sense on all levels. You know what I'm saying? And but that's like I said, the same Pierce Morgan, saying making fun of Andrew Tate, talking about he misogynist, and then now Jordan Peterson talking, now talking about incels, man, who can't get laid. Then you gotta make fun of them. It doesn't make any sense. Like I said, it's a catch-22. You cannot win. It's like walking on eggshells with these liberals. And I would recommend that to the men watching. Don't try to be a nice guy. Don't try to appease liberal women, liberal men, whatever. Just be yourself. I'm not saying to be an asshole. I'm just saying, whatever your opinion is, express it. Don't change your opinion. Just whatever's natural, go with it. If you feel something that's not natural, don't deal with it. That's all I got to say for that. And let me see what else is going on. Might have to go back to the I don't know. See if I just go back. Ended up on Yahoo. Yeah, but anyway though, I just want to get out of my chest right quick. I might just end the video right here. So I just want to get that, express my opinion on those issues right there. And my bad. This is some bullshit. This nigga, Will Smith. Now, from my understanding, he turned out the Django, and Jimmy Fox ended up being in the movie, right? From my understanding, but right after the infamous slap heard around the world, and I had no idea he was actually like in the. I had no idea he was in the process of making the movie after all this time. I thought after the slap at the Oscars, I thought he was like staying low. I have no idea, during that he was actually like filming a movie, you know what I'm saying, or about to come out with the movie, after all this time. And I made a point that this is my opinion. Will Smith is coming out with this movie about slavery, right? Called Emancipation, put out by Apple. He's putting out this movie because he's trying to win his fans back. And one thing about Hollywood, they use emotionalism, right? Okay, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. A lot of people, a lot of his fan base, not all of them, but like I would say like a large number of his fan base they're like appalled. They got disenchanted with Will Smith, and actually a lot of people got disenchanted with Will Smith before that with the whole Jada Pinkett Red Table kerfuffle. You know what I'm saying? Plus his kids are crazy. So weird as shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like even before the damn slap, a lot of people looking at Will and Jada like, nah. He's not what we cracked up to be, what we thought he was. So of course, it reached a climax at the Oscars, right? And of course, Will Smith stayed low. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's coming out with a slave movie, uh, trying to win the hearts back, trying to win his fan base hearts back. Like, yeah, I'm going to put out this movie about slavery. It's going to touch your hearts. You know what I'm saying? We all getting emotional. Of course, slavery is going to like make black people emotional and shit. so we got to come out of this movie. You know what I'm saying? All dramatic and shit, all black and white, all black and white and shit. All, you know, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? And that's when we come out. Oh, this movie touched my heart. It's worthy of an Oscar and blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, he's gonna win his fans back and he's gonna be forgiven. I think that's probably like the strategy they're coming up with when they put out this movie. That's just my opinion. But I just when I found this out, man, I started laughing. I started laughing. I was like, "Come on, man!" And that's all I always say. People gotta be more multidimensional. Especially when they analyze stuff. Because a lot of people they just take the media with face value. But a lot of times the media does stuff to like get an emotional response from the audience, so they can like manipulate people's minds, so they can like steer people's consciousness to a certain direction. You know what I'm saying? So this strategy. Look at this. Watch the trailer for Will Smith's new movie Emancipation slaps. It's some bullshit. Am I gonna see it? Nope, I have not seen The Woman King yet. I have not seen it and will not watch it because I don't want to go a whole rant on that. With the Dahomey, you know what I'm saying? I think they changed the history of it because historically they're the ones who like sold Africans to the Europeans, but they're making them the heroes in the movie. I'm not gonna see that. I have not seen. I will not see the Black Little Mermaid, not because she's black, because I still have not seen the white little. I still have not seen the white Little Mermaid yet. I still have not seen the original Little Mermaid yet. So I'm not a Disney fan. I'm not gonna see like a little kitty Disney movie. I'm not. I still haven't seen the damn Little Mermaid yet, let alone the new one. with the black girl. And we'll come down to like Wakanda Forever. I don't know. Uh, when it comes down to movies, I think this is my unpopular opinion. When it comes down to movies, I think a lot of times if you have a movie right that's a hit, it's a good storyline, it's an epic masterpiece, whatever. It could be any kind of movie, like a classic movie, good action movie, good action flick. They had a good storyline. The hero won at the end. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, a movie should just be a standalone movie. It should not need. I mean, if you told the story, why a sequel? Why a sequel? You don't necessarily need a sequel for every movie or a remake. So we're coming down to the Black Panther. It just is my opinion. Since the brother who played the Black Panther passed away, what I'm saying, which is really sad. I think they should just left it alone. Like, hey, this is a standalone movie. You know what I'm saying? We'll need a sequel. You know what I'm saying? Just this was a hit in the Marvel universe. Just leave it alone. Don't make a sequel and just move on. But that being but a sequel without a Black Panther, nah. I mean, that's just my opinion. And if they want to make a remake of it, just wait like a generation or two, make another remake. But see, they talk about the slap and all kind of stuff. But I just find it hilarious. They're still making slave movies in 2022. Yeah, it's insane. But anyway, though, man, I finna do some other stuff. Finna log out. If you want to add a commentary, comment below. Agree, disagree. Like the video, subscribe, and peace.